This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and does not substitute for professional medical advice. Please seek a medical professional or healthcare provider if you're seeking any medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Thanks, everyone.
Hi, Patreon. I don't know why I'm doing this.
I'm surprised that Mickey didn't come out. See,
I'm an old person. This is how you know.
Oh, they're fireworks. You see, we have no idea how this gets triggered.
Yeah,
like we were looking for the thumbs up, and we got fireworks. Okay,
Whatever.
so today is going to be a little bit of a fun one, a little bit of an experiment, if you will.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about the Rorschach.
We just Googled this.
We just Googled it.
Rorschach.
Rorschach.
Yeah, and I still feel like I'm killing it.
Yeah,
but anyways,
I still don't feel like we literally heard the lady say it like 3 times. So
Yeah, the
we're
Google lady.
trying. We're trying.
the Rorschach ink blot test.
That's
the Rorschach test, aka the ink blot test.
Exactly. So it's that traditional,
Like,
one.
what do you see here type of thing.
yeah, if you're listening, it's the ink block test. If you just like Google it, you'll see it. Anyway, so we're going to go into what it is, what it's used for, all the good stuff. And then in the end, we're going to test each
See
other.
what we actually see.
Exactly.
That's going to be really cool.
Yeah. And I purposefully just Googled it and just copied and pasted it from obviously a reputable source, like what each one should be, so that we could test each other out and see what we, like how close we get to
Each other's answers.
quote unquote what it should look like, at least to normal average people. So we'll see about that. But anyways,
All right,
What is
so
it?
what is it? So the Rorschach test, also known as the ink blot test, guys, I'm going to say the ink blot test, okay, is a psychological tool to use to explore a person's thoughts, feelings, and personality. So how the Rorschach test helps to understand a person's personality is when you take the actual test, you look at 10 different ink blot cards, and then you're going to describe what you see in each one. So these ink blots are just random shapes and there's no right or wrong answers. What you see in the ink blot can reveal a lot about your inner thoughts, feelings, and personality traits. So the way that I can kind of relate this to is like, do you see the glass like half empty or half full?
exactly. That's it.
So here's how it works. Step 1, projection. So the test is based on the idea of projection, which means that when you look at something ambiguous, like an ink blot, your mind fills in the gaps with your own thoughts and feelings. This can reveal hidden parts of your personality. So then number 2, you're going to give your responses. So your descriptions of the ink blots are recorded and analyzed. For example, if you see a lot of animals, it might suggest that you have a vivid imagination. If you see something scary or disturbing, it could indicate that you have underlying fears or anxieties. Then you're going to talk about patterns, right? Psychologists are going to look for patterns in your responses. They consider how you perceive the ink blots, the emotions you express, and the themes that emerge from your answers.
Right.
So this helps them understand your coping style, emotional state, and how you relate to others. So the ink blot test can provide insights of various aspects of personalities, such as coping style, so how you handle your stress, how you handle those challenges, your emotional responses and stability, your thought process as well, which is how you think and perceive the world, and then interpersonal relationships, how you interact with others and view social situations. That's a lot of information that you get from a simple ink blot test.
Yeah, exactly. And it's exactly that. It's like transference. What are you like really perceiving from this? You know?
Yeah, it's like, how did they come up with this? Which we're going to dive into a little bit in the history in a little bit, but it's like, it's such a famous test.
It is. That's
like
why.
cartoons,
It's everywhere.
depict this, and
Like when you're a kid, like the first thing you think of when you think of a psychologist or a psychiatrist or whatever, it's like the ink blot.
yeah, ink blot
do you
or
see?
someone laying down on a bed. Like,
Exactly.
tell me how you feel.
Exactly. So that's why I was like, we gotta do this.
All right, so the Rorschach test, it can offer valuable information. It's important to note that it's just one tool among many psychological assessments. It works best when you use it alongside other tests and other evaluations to get like a comprehensive picture in a person's personality and mental health. So what that means is that you're not going to go in and see a psychologist and they're going to present to you some pictures and then that's it. They're going to give you a diagnosis and all these things.
It's not accurate enough for that.
Exactly. Yeah. This is just going to maybe give them an idea. It is a tool in their toolbox, right?
100%.
So yeah, Jules is going to talk about the history.
So let's talk about where this came from, how it was made, all the things. So Herman Rorschach, hence the name, a Swiss psychiatrist, came up with the idea for the ink blot test through a mix of his early interests and professional experiences. As a child, Rorschach enjoyed drawing and playing a game called, okay, I'm going to try.
Plexography?
That's it. I'm not even going to try.
I don't even know if I said that right. Plexography.
Looks and sounds perfect. Anyway, in this game, you place a blob of ink on a piece of paper and fold it to create an interesting and like abstract images. So this childhood fascination with ink blots stayed with him throughout his life. Rorschach decided to become a doctor and studied medicine, eventually specializing in psychiatry. During his work, he became interested in how people perceive and interpret the world around them. He was particularly influenced by the ideas of Sigmund Freud. I mean, come on. Who explored the unconscious mind, and by the work of another psychiatrist, Simon Hens. I just know that from a movie. I hope I said it right.
Like, wow.
Just because, me pronouncing something right, it's because I heard it somewhere else. Which used ink blots to study people's fantasies. In 1918, Rorschach began experimenting with his own set of ink blots. He created 15 ink blots, and showed them to his patients, asking them what this might be. He noticed that different people saw different things in the ink blots, and their responses seemed to reveal something about their personalities and mental states. So Rorschach believed that when people looked at these ambiguous ink blots, they projected their own thoughts, feelings, and unconscious desires onto the images. And this process is called projection. Could help psychologists understand more about a person's inner world. So in 1921, Rorschach published his findings in a book called Psychodiagnostics. He detailed how the test could be used to distinguish between different mental health conditions by analyzing how people interpreted the ink blots. Unfortunately, Rorschach died the following year at the young age of 37. But his ink blot test lived on. Other psychologists continued to develop and refine the test, and it became a widely used tool in psychology.
All right.
So that's where it came from.
What a guy.
I know, right?
I don't think he ever realized how big of an impact his ink blot
I don't think
fascination would have led in like the world of psychiatry.
Exactly. And how it's still used today.
Yeah, I know.
Like after all that time. Like,
I know.
It's crazy to think about, Bella.
So how reliable is this test, right? It's like, come on, girls. Is this really, like, do they really do this?
It's the year 2024.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. It takes some time, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to be there, like, interpret things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's definitely still done.
Right.
So the reliability of the ink blot test in diagnosing a mental health condition is a topic of ongoing debate among psychologists. So here's a simple explanation for non-experts. So imagine a Rorschach test as a tool in a psychologist's toolbox, right? So like any tool, it has its strengths and weaknesses. Some psychologists find it useful while others are skeptical about its effectiveness, okay? So here are the key points to understand. 1, limited reliability. The Rorschach test isn't always consistent, right? So different psychologists might interpret the same person's responses differently, which can lead to varying conclusions. I think that that's like a big thing, right? And also it's like, if you show me that one picture one day and then you show it to me again the next day, what's to say that I might not say something different?
Exactly.
Right? Or your conclusion changes. You're like, well, today she's a little bit happier.
That's what I'm saying. That I literally was going to say that. Maybe your mood influences what you see that day versus another day, you know?
Yeah. The other thing is that it's useful for specific conditions. So the test seems to be more helpful in diagnosing certain mental health conditions, particularly schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. But for these conditions, it provides valuable insight. Not a standalone tool. Again, you use this in combination with other tools. So most experts agree that the Rorschach test shouldn't be just used on its own to diagnose mental health conditions. It's just best alongside other assessments and methods just to get a more complete picture. So is an ongoing debate. I mean, Are you surprised it's medicine?
Yeah, exactly.
There's still disagreement among psychologists about how reliable the test is. Some argue it's a valuable tool, while others believe it's not significantly sound enough for widespread use. And I can see that because usually when we want to recommend something, it's because we want to make sure that everything is consistent along various fields, right? So one person's interpretation might be different than another person's interpretation. It's really like, how useful is that?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So potential for overdiagnosis. Some critics worry that the test might lead to overdiagnosis of a mental health problem, especially when used in legal settings. So for legal cases. Okay. In simple terms, think of the Rorschach test like a weather app on your phone. It can give you a general idea of what to expect, but wouldn't really rely on it alone to make important decisions. So you'd probably check with other sources too. Similarly, the ink blot test can provide useful information, especially for certain conditions, and it's most effective when used as part of a broader assessment. Psychologists often use this alongside other tests, interviews, observations to get more of an accurate understanding of a person's mental health. A person's mental health diagnosis is really complex. It's not straightforward. Sometimes it involves multiple diagnoses all at the same time. And some overlap with each other. If you're concerned about your mental health, it's always best to consult with a qualified professional, a psychologist, psychiatrist, okay, who can use a variety of tools and methods to provide a comprehensive assessment.
Yeah. So how do experts interpret these results, right? So you're sitting there, they show you the test, and then what leads them to be like, well, this is what is underlying because you saw X, Y, and Z on this ink blot. Experts interpret the results of the Rorschach test by analyzing how a person's responds to a series of these images, right? So then when you take the Rorschach test, you're shown 10 different ink blot cards, and then you're asked to describe what you see in each one of them. And they're all different. They have different colors, different shapes, all that stuff. So the psychologist records your responses and then uses a detailed scoring system to interpret them. Let's go through that. So the content. This is what you actually see in the ink blot. For example, you might see animals, people, or objects. The specific things that you mention can give clues about your thoughts and your feelings. For instance, seeing dark or threatening images could indicate underlying fear or anxiety. Next is determinants. These are the reasons why you see what you see. Psychologists look at what features of the ink blot influenced your response. Did you focus on the shape, color, shading, or movement in the ink blot? Each of these factors can reveal different aspects of your personality. For example, focusing on colors might suggest emotional sensitivity, while focusing on shapes might indicate a more logical or structured way of thinking. Next is location. This refers to which part of the ink blot you used to create your response. Did you use the whole ink blot, a common part, an unusual detail, or even the white space around the ink blot? Using the whole ink blot might suggest a holistic thinking style, while focusing on small details might indicate a more detailed oriented personality. Next is form quality. So this assesses how well your response fits the actual shape of the ink blot. If your response closely matches the ink blot's form, it might suggest clear and organized thinking. If your response is more imaginative or abstract, it might indicate creativity or a different way of perceiving the world. Then you have patterns and themes. So psychologists look for reoccurring themes or patterns in your responses. Consistent themes can provide deeper insights into your personality and your emotional state. For example, if you frequently see images related to conflict or danger, it might suggest underlying stress or anxiety. And then finally, behavior during the test. How you behave while taking the test is also important. Quick responses might indicate comfort and ease in social situations, while delayed responses could suggest difficulty in social interactions and decision making. So the ink blot test uses a standardized scoring system such as the Exner system to ensure that interpretations are as objective and reliable as possible. This system analyzes various aspects of your responses and compares them to established norms to draw conclusions about your personality and emotional functioning. So in summary, the Rorschach test is like a psychological mirror that helps reveal hidden aspects of your mind by interpreting what you see in a series of random ink blots. So it's time to test each other.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. So like we said, it consists of 10 ink blot images, and each of them should have like some common, interpretations. At least we're going to name them. So
We should show it to the camera.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So I already have them numbered right up here.
Okay.
And then if you're listening, we'll try to describe it. But anyways, so it's what I'm gonna do for those of you that are just listening. I'm gonna like show them to her. Well, I'm just gonna show it to you guys first, and then I'm gonna show it to the both of us, and then we come up with what it is that we see.
I really want to know what I'm gonna answer.
All right, so this is the first one. This is card number 1. Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. Okay. I think I have my answer. So what do you see?
The first thing I thought of was the pelvis.
That makes total sense. You are a doctor.
That's the first thing I thought about, and then like a weird bug.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I see like a bat type of situation.
A bat. Okay.
Like kind of like a bat. Like it's like a weird animal that has like some weird wings. Like think of like oh my God, what's that? The Mothman. Like that cryptid, the Mothman, like something sinister like that is what I say.
Awesome.
Yeah. Then very different. Yeah. Anyway.
I thought pelvis with the sacrum and the coccyx at the end.
Awesome. I mean, it tracks.
Yeah.
It tracks, you know? It tracks for each of our personalities, so. All right, so this card supposedly often seen as bat, butterfly, or moth. Well, shit.
Okay.
All right,
All right,
okay.
Jules. All right.
Okay, I'm
so
on it.
far, that is
Well,
kind of weird.
No, I mean, you're a doctor, it's going to happen. So responses on this first card can indicate how a person approaches a new and unfamiliar situation. Okay, so you approach it as a medical stance, I guess.
Or just what I'm used to seeing.
Exactly. Okay, so that's card number 1.
All right.
Card number 2. Okay. Okay. All right, I have my answer. And I'm not looking at the responses.
Yeah, I'm not looking at the
actively
responses
not looking at the
either.
responses. Okay, I'm ready.
Girl, this is looking something like a horn.
Really? Oh my God,
Yeah.
it's so different. I love this. This is so different.
Like I see like eyes and a mouth and like horns.
Okay, I can see that now that you say that. But
Yeah. What did you think?
I see 2 people high-fiving each other with little hats.
Oh wow, that is very different.
You see what I mean?
Oh my God, yeah, I see it now.
But
that
you see
said
it now
that.
too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then when you said that to me, I'm like, oh yeah, I see now the horns. But
Oh my God,
to
so what
me,
is it?
the horns look like the little hats.
The little hats.
And then you see their
No, yeah, they're high fiving. No, now I definitely see it. I definitely see the high five.
All right, so read it.
So it says commonly interpreted as 2 people or animals. The red areas is seen as blood, which could suggest aggressive or sexual themes.
Jeez.
Okay, well,
Okay,
we didn't
go
think that
into the
either.
sexual themes, but okay. All right, so I'm sticking with the more common one. All right.
Yeah, I know. Okay, Yvette,
Okay.
what the fuck does that mean? What does it mean for me?
All right, so that's that. Now we're going to card number 3. This one's going to be hard. I really don't know what I see there, but anyway, so let's see. What the hell do I see there? Like, I don't know. Okay, whatever. What do you see?
2 people playing drums.
I see that now. Okay. I kind of see like a face. Like these are the eyes. And
Okay.
then like
I
kind
do
of-
see that. I do
yeah,
see that.
and then the nose is a red thing in the middle.
In the middle. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So for card number 3, frequently perceived as 2 human figures interacting. There you go.
Okay.
This card often elicits social interpretations and can reveal how a person views relationships. Okay. So I see like I guess more individualized, and you see it like together. Okay. Perfect. I mean tracks.
Yeah.
Again. All right. So card number 4. Okay. All right. I think I have mine. That's how I felt in the last one. I'm like, I don't even know what to interpret this as. But this one is like kind of.
Okay. It's gonna sound weird, but it looks like a person like this. So like 2 feet, 2 hands, and a tail, like almost like a dinosaur type.
Okay. I kind of. Okay. I just.
Julie, okay? It's not what I'm saying.
No, but I do agree with something like this kind of looks like a spine to me.
Yeah, like a
Right?
spine, and then
Yeah.
these are 2 feet like off the side, and then these are 2 hands, like
See,
a little,
this
like a little raptor.
Uh-huh. Okay. I can't
I
like
see a raptor.
I see more like a pelvis type of situation in this
Okay,
one.
so now you're seeing the pelvis.
Yeah, now I'm seeing the pelvis. Okay, so yeah.
Card number 4, often described as a large looming figure, sometimes seen as a monster or a giant.
That all you. You got it.
All right, responses may indicate attitudes towards authority or power.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not a psychologist. I don't know what that means for either one of us.
Yeah, I know. Please, if anyone has any insight, if you're a psychiatrist or a psychologist, please
ahead.
let us. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know what your opinions are. Okay, this
So
is
card number 5.
number 5.
Okay.
All right. I know what I see.
Yeah, me too.
I see a butterfly.
Me too. I see
Okay.
I see a butterfly.
All right. Typically seen as a bat or a butterfly or a bird.
Yeah.
This card is considered the easiest to interpret and can reflect a person's ability on perceived objects versus reality.
Yeah, I mean
okay.
it has the antenna.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like there's no way, like, you know.
Okay. Interesting. Oh my God, these are so funny.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
So card number 6. See, okay. Okay, I mean, all right, so you go first. I don't know. This one's a little tough. Like, yeah.
Maybe if I squint, I'll see something.
I'm gonna try squinting, and it's kind of still the same thing that I kind of am seeing.
Honestly, I see a rug, some sort of rug.
Okay. I see like honestly like an animal. So it's like think of Avatar, like the flying creatures on Avatar.
That's very creative.
You know, that's because of the little whiskers here.
I
like,
literally, this looks like an animal rug to me.
yeah. Honestly, accurate. Like okay, so the both of us think of
like
an
an
animal of some sort. Okay, so card number 6, often perceived as having sexual imagery. I don't see that at all.
Rugs!
Animal hides or rugs. There you go. You got it. On the money. On the money.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Responses may reveal attitudes towards sexuality or sensuality.
I don't know what that means.
But why? How does an animal hide or rug do with? I'm confused. Anyway, okay. I thought these were gonna give us insights on now. I'm just like more confused.
Now I'm more confused than ever. What's going on in my brain?
So card number 7. Okay. All right. I kind of see already something. Yeah. Now I can't unsee it. I don't know. All right. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm gonna stick with that. What do you think? Okay. I see 2 people talking to each other, like they're facing each other, and then like maybe it's like 2 little Victorian women with a little poof thing in their head, and then like you see this is their nose. They're just like looking at each other, talking to each other. That's kind of what I see there. What about you? It's gonna be so different. I see it
I
already.
feel like an evil smile with horns.
Yeah, I could see that now. Now that you say that. Okay.
Oh God, I can't wait to see what
All
they're
right,
going to say
so-
about this.
Card number 7, commonly seen as human heads or faces, often female. Okay, that was me. So this card may
yeah.
elicit responses related to interpersonal relationships, particularly with women or mother figures. Okay, there you go.
Fucked up.
That one was hard. It's not very clear. Oh, we got a colorful one coming up. Card number 8. I need the colors. Okay, I see it. I see it now. I had to print this one twice, so I'm still sticking with the same thing I had seen that time.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, read it.
So I see like two like gophers maybe, or like
Okay.
some sort of round, small little animal, like an otter or something.
right?
Yeah, like an otter, and
And it's that red part is what you're talking about, right? Like
yeah,
the red
yeah,
on
the red
sides?
part on the side, like
Yeah.
climbing something.
Yeah.
And then maybe on the water somehow with some sort of reflection on them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I see.
Yeah, I didn't even see that detail. Okay. Yeah, I see kind of the same thing. It's like I don't know if it's mine's just bigger. It's more than a gopher. It's more like some bigger animal.
Some
cat,
sort of
something.
bigger animal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So card number 8. This first multicolored card, often interpreted as animals, of course, responses can indicate how a person reacts to emotional stimuli. Okay. So next card. Card number 9. More colors.
More colors. Yay.
That's a little rough. Yeah, this one's rough.
Okay.
Yeah?
I think I know what I see.
Okay. All right, what do you see?
I see 2 seahorses
Oh.
in like some sort of coral.
Okay.
Or like a sea flower. I don't know. That's what the colors are reminding me of.
Okay.
But this definitely looks like a seahorse to me.
Yeah, 100%. To me, it kind of looks like a volcano, like
Like fire.
Yeah, it's fire up there somewhere, like coming from the sea or something. I don't know, something like that. Yeah. So,
Okay, so card number 9, another colored card, often seen as human figures on fire. Or fire. Not human figures on fire. So this complex card can reveal how persons deal with stress or complex emotions.
oh, we got the thumbs up
Yeah.
also from Mickey. Okay. All right. So fire.
I see seahorses.
Cool. I mean, I guess you have less like of the stress or something.
No, probably not.
I don't. Yeah,
Probably
it doesn't. That wouldn't. Anyway. So card number 10, last one, and it's a colorful one and very, very interesting.
Eccentric.
There's a lot going on there. That's a lot.
Honestly, let me know what you see. It reminds you of an orchid.
Yes, that's a good response. It definitely does look like an orchid. To me, it looks like something in the sea.
Okay.
Like
You're seeing
coral.
a seahorse too?
No, I don't see it.
Just kidding.
No, I know. But
It
like,
looks like an orchid to me.
yeah, no, that's even better. To me, it looks like a coral or something you'd find in the ocean or something like that.
All right, so card number 10, the most complex card with
Okay.
many small details.
right.
Interpretations vary widely and can indicate how a person synthesizes information and deals with complex situations. So it doesn't even tell us
No,
what it is.
it doesn't. It's very complex. So I guess it's just open to interpretation with
Yeah.
like what is going on with you at that time. The psychologist, I guess, will like go from there. So yeah, that was our interpretations on it. Of course, they're widely available on Google or anything like that. And if you are just listening, but
Jules got me the first card and I'm like, a pelvis. And she's like, starting off strong.
yeah, accurate. But yeah, so
I can't believe the rug.
the rug, no, and you hit it on the nail.
I
But
was
then-
like, it looks like an animal rug to me.
But then the weird part is like sexual, it's supposed to reveal like sexual stuff. And I'm like, how?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, so to end this episode, it's important to note that these are general interpretations and professional psychologists consider many factors beyond just the content of the responses when analyzing these tests. So this test is meant to be administered and interpreted by professionals as part of a comprehensive psychological assessment. Had you ever had this done to you in a professional setting? Yeah, me neither.
I've never, and I did a lot of rotations in psychiatry, and we never did an ink blot test.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so that was that. Hope you guys liked it. And thank you, patrons. You guys are the best.
That was a fun episode.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Thanks, guys.
Like, comment, review us on all streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, etc.
Check us out on Instagram and TikTok at Funny Medicine Podcast. Our Gmail is funnymedicine305@gmail.com. And remember, we are not diagnosing you.
Definitely not. Just funny stuff.
See you later, guys.